some people talk about, investing in gold and silver when there's high inflation. What are your thoughts on these trends over time?
Yeah, I actually been asked that a lot. I've looked at it a lot. It comes up, there's a couple of ETFs that I pretty much constantly follow, GLD, which is for gold, and SLV, which is for silver. Um, and I'm constantly putting them in on a back testing basis and trying to see what happens in different scenarios. Uh, for me, the key criteria isn't so much fighting inflation, it is protecting my stock market portfolio. And one of the problems I've had with gold, specifically, and even silver for that matter, is that in these big downturns, like in 2008, they came down pretty heavily, versus say treasuries, which came down less. Or exact for look at 2020 here, treasuries went up quite nicely actually. So I'm a huge believer in the fact that we make money in two areas in our lives: our real estate and our stocks. And so I don't deal with the real estate much. That would be your own home or your rental properties or what have you. But the stocks I do. And so whatever percentage stocks that you have that works for you in our portfolio, I want to protect that. And so gold theoretically is a protection, but it has fallen quite heavily several times during some of these big downturns. Combine that recession with with a down stock market, and you end up with negative 36%, and gold isn't the best hedge there. It's working right now. I mean, I just said earlier in my summary that the total stock market index is essentially flat for the last 6 months. GLD is up 5.4%. So it's not a bad piece in this particular environment. And essentially, it's held up when the market came down. And I do like that, especially in this environment where bonds aren't holding up either. So I don't have a problem with it in the portfolio. I just don't normally add it because it's creating a higher level of volatility in that one component. And I'm not getting a big payoff to protect my stock portfolio. This is a downturn, but this isn't the downturn I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the ones that are 20, 30, 40, 50%. Those are the ones that I really want to watch out for because those are the retirement killers, as we just discussed. Um, yeah, I think it's an interesting component. I have no problems with people that want to put it in. I have no problems with people that decide that they like that and we can add it to their portfolio. I have never actually had it in my portfolio at any point in time. The combination of volatility and the fact that it doesn't go up consistently in these big stock market downturns has kind of kept me away.
Yeah, and like even silver in this like last 6 months is actually negative,
Yeah,
like around -1%.
yeah,
So
yep,
so there's even a disconnect in other precious metals from each other.
yep,
So
yep.
it's hard to gauge if they're
Yeah,
useful.
consistently in these very big downturns, people do run for treasuries. They're not doing that right now because this isn't a big downturn. This is an inflation scare, these types of things. But I would say that if we had a recession here and the stock market was down 20, 30, 40%, I bet you would see some pop in treasuries. One of the problems with treasuries is that their rates of return are somewhat limited by the fact that the yield is so low. And it's come back up. The 10-year treasury is now 2%, and get that back down to 0.5% like it was before. You would see a price increase, and that's the offsetting thing I'm looking for. So it's a little bit difficult to find these offsets in this particular environment. I'm just not sure that gold will be the place everybody's running to. Maybe this time it hasn't been in the past. So that's one of my concerns. Yeah.